Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Here we talk about the basics of mathematics, specific to business mathematics. As you know, the definition of mathematics, what is mathematics? Mathematics is a study of measurement, functions, assumptions, properties, dealing with numbers, equations, okay, and symbols to make a rational decision. So we can simplify the definition. Mathematics is a study of measurement, using numbers, symbols, equations, functions to make and expressions to make a rational decision or concrete decision. So there are two types of decisions. One is subjective based decisions, second one is numerical based decisions. Subjective based means decisions mean that when we perceive something, when we judge something, when we have the understanding or observation of anything, and then we can make a decision. But whenever we talk about mathematics or quantitative nature decisions, which based on some concrete value, based on some data, then we can have a rule of thumb or cutoff point or threshold values. Based on those values, based on rule of thumb, based on those cutoff points, then we can make a concrete decision. Rational decision. And whenever we are having a decision which is based on any rule of thumb that is accepted by the more audience, and the generalizability of the decision is wider as compared to subjective based decisions, judgmental based decisions, observation based decisions, because observation lies person to person, judgment lies person to person, and perception lies person to person, and it can be changed from scenario to scenario, time to time. But whenever we are talking about quantitative nature decisions, obviously we are having the rule of thumb or cutoff point, and there will be no variation in the decision, and the acceptability of that rule of thumb is wider as compared to subjective based decision. So mathematics normally deals with quantitative based decisions, and we can make a rational decision. And if we look at our this subject, that is business mathematics, what are the implications, how the business mathematics can be utilized in our real life problems in corporate sector to make the rational or significant decision. Okay, so we normally in our previous classes till I think your intermediate or your first school classes, we normally focus on the derivation of mathematics, but we are unable to understand what are its practical implications, where the mathematics is being used to make decision. What is the implication of mathematics in our real life problems, in corporate and business? Whenever we are talking about an equation, that is a mathematical language. An equation tells about some variables, and there are some inputs, there are some outputs. The wider used in the mathematics is equation, or we can say there are different types of equations, and we normally focus on equation. So there are different types of equations. For example, first degree equation or linear equation. Then second degree equation or quadratic equation, then cubic equation, and so on. So, and after that we have a lot of functions like polynomial function, composite function, rational function, combination of function, and lot of concepts are there. But we start our concept from an equation. What is an equation? The expression having equal sign. It means we have some component at left side of the equation and some components at right side of the equation. If they are equal, their magnitude, their expressions are equal, or their values are equal, then we can say it's an equation. What is an equation? The expression having equal sign, or we can say when left side is equal to right hand side, then we can say that is an equation. If the magnitude is one side magnitude is greater than the other, then we can't say it as an equation. We can say inequalities. We can name it inequality. So inequality, when we are talking about inequality, there is a comparison. One thing is greater and second thing is, other thing is lesser. Second thing can be greater and first can be lesser than to each other. So if we talk about equation, first degree equation or linear equation, it is widely used in research, in decision making, in our for example in our business or corporate sector, while making their decisions. For example, if we talk about revenue function, if we talk about cost function, if we talk about profit function and demand function, supply function, then there are many other aspects which are related to production function. We can say we can also utilize the mathematics in every aspects of the corporate sector while making a significant, worthwhile and rational decision based on some concrete value or some inputs data, and it will help us to make a reliable decision. Okay, so as you know, there are different types of equation. If we talk about first degree equation, first degree, where the power of variable is 1, where the power of variable is 1 is called first degree equation, or we normally name it linear equation. We normally name it linear equation, first degree equation or linear equation. So where the power of variable is 1 is called first degree equation. First degree or linear equation. Okay?
Yes.
The definition is clear.
Yes.
Where the power of variable is 1 is called first degree equation. How to solve first degree equation and how we draw the graph of first degree equation? As you know, how to solve first degree equation? Shift the variable one side, constant, other side, then simplify, and you will be getting a root. That is a value, that is an answer which must satisfy the equation. If by putting that value or by putting that root in the equation, if both sides get equal to each other, obviously it follows it confirms the definition of equation. What is an equation? Equation where the expression having equal signs. It means if we have some value, if putting that value in any equation, if both sides get equal to each other, then we can say the root is satisfying the equation. That is a real root, that is a real answer which can satisfy the equation. Equation. So first degree equation, exercise number 1.1 normally deals with first degree equation. Here, as I told you, first degree equation is where the power of variable is 1. We should be very careful while understanding either it's first degree equation or second degree equation, third degree equation. If power is 1, then we can say that is a first degree equation or linear equation. In research, normally in econometrics, or we can say while you will be having your final year project in your 8th semester, as well as MBA, in your MBA or MPhil or any sort of research, normally 90% research is based on first degree equation or linear equation. In those classes we name it linear equation. What is linear equation? Where power of variable is maximum 1 is called first degree equation. Here we talk about exercise number 1.1. And exercise number 1.1 deals with first degree equation. How to solve first degree equation? Shift the variable one side, constant, other side, we will getting an answer. We'll be getting an answer, and that answer must satisfy the equation. That answer must satisfy the equation. And after putting the value of that root in the equation, if both sides get equal to each other, then we can name it as an equation. Clear, students?
Yes.
So that answer is called root of equation, and we can name it, if it's satisfying the equation, we can name it real root of the equation. Okay, and we can also draw the graph of first degree equation. We can also draw the graph of first degree equation, and once we draw the graph of first degree equation, its curve can be left right upward, its curve can be left right upward, or it can be left right downward. Here it has positive slope and it has negative slope. It means when the moment of curve is left right upward, it means when we increase input, output is also increased. What does it mean? There is dependent variable and other is independent variable. Independent variables are called, normally we can name them input variables, and there is output variable. If you look at the equation, there are two sides. One is left side, second one is right side. Left side normally deals with dependent variable. We can name it outcome variable, we can name it endogenous variable. And if we talk about right side of the equation, there are different variables. There might be two variables, there might be one variable, there might be three variable, and so on. It depends on any sort of research how many variables you are having. Right side of the equation, equation variables are normally denoted by input variable, or we can name them independent variables. If input is increased, if the value of independent variable is increased and the value of output is increased, that is called direct relation. There might be direct relation between variables, there might be inverse relation between variables. Suppose if we talk about, for example, is there any relationship between students' learning and teacher knowledge? That is a logical statement.
Yes.
That is a logical statement. I suppose better the teacher knowledge, more will be the student understanding. More will be the student understanding. If lower the teacher knowledge, lesser the teacher knowledge, lesser will be the students understanding. Further, we can say that teaching method is also important for students' learning. If teacher has effective teaching method, obviously student will be getting more knowledge. Okay, conveying method and so on. So classroom environment is also another variable, is an input variable. If we have better classroom environment, obviously it will affect the students' learning. It can enhance student learning. These variables are proved in research. Okay, and widely tested. These variables are widely examined or analyzed in the literature, and there is positive relationship between these variables. When we talk about positive relationship or direct relationship, it means due to increase in input, output is increased. The movement of curve will be left, right, upward. Slope will be positive. Slope will be positive. What is slope? Slope is a rate of change. Slope is a rate of change. Rate of change in which? Output. Rate of change in output due to change in input. Due to change in input. That is called slope, and slope is proportionate change, and we can make a decision how much change will bring in output due to change in input. That is the magnitude of slope, and sign of slope will represent you either there is positive relation or negative relation. Okay, here we talk about if there is inverse relation between input and output, the curve will be left, right, downward. Here we can take an example. For example, stress and student learning.
Yes.
higher the stress, lower will be the student learning. Lower will be the student learning. One thing is increasing, other is decreasing. There is inverse relationship between these two variables. Then the graph will be left, right, downward. The movement of graph will be left, right, downward. If it's downward, then we can name it there is inverse relationship between two variables, and the slope will be negative. Slope will be negative, and we can say that proportionate change, slope is magnitude change or proportionate change. So I sum up what we have discussed. We have started our lecture from the definition of mathematics and what is the maximum utilization of mathematics in our real life. And here we are talking about the types of equation, and first type is a linear equation or first degree equation. How to solve? If we have we have a question, we have a statement, or we have a mathematical equation, then we can simplify it by shifting the variable one side, constant other side, and it can be simplified. After simplifying, we will be getting only one answer. Whenever you are talking about first degree equation, we will be getting only one answer, and that answer is called root of equation. By putting that value in the equation, if both sides get equal to each other, then we can say that is a real equation is satisfied by the value. After that, I have explained the graphical representation of first degree equation. That will be always straight line. When we talk about first degree equation, we will be getting a straight line, and straight line, its movement can be left, right, upward. If it's upward, then we can say there is a positive relationship between input and output variable. And output variable normally we denote it y, or dependent variable, and input variables are normally denoted by x, or we can name them independent or explanatory variables. So if there is positive relationship, slope is called positive. It means due to increase in input, output is increased. There is direct relationship. If the movement is left, right, downward, left, right, downward, we can name it there is inverse relationship between two variables. And I have put it some example. You can revise your concept based on those examples, and the slope will be negative. Now we have some numerical questions of exercise number 1.1. Then we can make, we can solve them, and we can make our decision. Can you read question number 1? What is question number 1?
X minus 5 is equals to
Exercise number 1.1. Question number 1. X minus
5 is equal to 2x minus 8.
2x minus
8.
So normally variables are denoted by some alphabetics, and in this case alphabetic x is a variable. We are dealing with linear equation or first degree equation. Keep in mind the definition of first degree equation or linear equation. What is the definition of first degree equation? Where the power of variable is 1 is called first degree equation. What's power here? 1. What is variable? First you have to understand what is variable. In this case the variable is x, and it's having power 1. It's having power 1. So the power of variable is 1. We can name it linear or first degree equation. First of all, you have to differentiate either it's first degree or second degree or quadratic, whatever the equation is. Then we have discussed that how to solve first degree equation. How to solve first degree equation? Shift the variable constant other side. So in this case variable is x. We shift the variables one side, constant other side x, and here it's positive. When we shift to right side of the equation, sign will be changed. So minus 2x is equal to minus 8. Here it's minus 5. When we shift to right side of equation, it will be plus 5. Here the coefficient of this is 1. 1 minus 2, it means minus
X.
x is equal to minus
3.
3. Minus and minus are
Cancel.
cancelled. The value of x is
3.
what's name of this value? That is root of
equation.
that is
Root
of equation. As I stated earlier that always will be getting one value. What? When we are talking about first degree equation, the root will be only 1. If we talk about second degree equation or quadratic equation, we will be getting maximum 2 answers. Here we will be getting maximum one answer because it's first degree equation, and this is the value which must satisfy the equation. How we can check the satisfaction of the equation? By putting this value in this equation, if left side equal to right side, then we can say root is satisfying the equation and it's the real root of equation. Without this value, there will be nothing which can satisfy this equation. Okay? So, put in the value, put in x is equal to 3 in equation, then we can check the answer. X, what is value of x?
3.
We can place here 3 minus 5 is equal to 2 into 3 minus 8 minus 2 is equal to 6 minus 8 minus 2 is equal to minus 2. So both sides are equal?
Yes.
So the equation is satisfied with the root.
Yes.
Then we can name it's the real root. How we can interpret x must be equal to 3 rather than 3. There will be nothing value which can satisfy the equation and which can be, and that is only the real root. Concept clear?
Yes.
So any other question? Whatever you want.
8 into
Question number
6.
Question number 6 is
5 into
5 into
3 minus x
3 minus x
is equal to
is equal to
3
3
into 5 plus x.
5 plus x. Students, here we have, as you know, in mathematics, first of all, we normally solve bar, then we can solve parenthesis. Here is parenthesis, then we solve bracket, curly bracket, then we solve the bracket. Okay.
Yes.
After that we divide, then multiplication, then addition or subtraction. Whenever you have a numerical question and which have some sort of expressions like we can say there is bar, bracket, curly bracket, parenthesis, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So what will be our approach to solve the question? We start from the bar. First of all we solve bar. Then we solve parenthesis. Then we solve parenthesis or small bracket. Okay? After that we solve curly bracket. Then we go for the bracket. Okay? Then we perform division. After that the order is multiplication, then addition or subtraction. Do we have bar here?
Yes.
Do we have bar here?
No.
We don't have bar. We don't have curly bracket. We don't have braces, and we don't have division. But we have multiplication. First of all, we start our expression by solving multiplication. So 5 is multiplied with the all expressions inside the parenthesis. 3 is also multiplied with all expressions of parenthesis. All expressions of parenthesis. So we can multiply 15 minus 5x is equal to 15
plus 3.
plus
3x.
3x. First degree equation?
Yes, sir.
How to solve?
Shift.
Shift the variable.
One side.
One side, constant.
Other side.
Other side. Minus 5x minus
Three.
here is plus. When we shift to left side, sign will be
Changed.
changed. 15 minus 15. 15 minus 15. So minus 8x is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0. 0 divided by anything is equal to 0. So 0 is the value which will satisfy the equation. Rather than 0, there will be none of the value which can satisfy the equation. You can put this value in this expression, or you can put here, you can put here. You will be getting both sides equal to each other. Concept clear?
Yes.
So that was, then we can say it's only the root which can satisfy the equation. Or you can you can read any other question.
Question number 15.
Yes. What is question number 15?
T minus 3
Okay.
divided by 2
Okay.
plus T plus 3 divided
Okay.
by 4 is
Divided
equal
by
to divided by 4.
Okay. What's question number
15.
15? What's question?
T minus 3
T minus 3 by
2
okay
plus
plus
T plus 3
t plus 3
by 4
by 4
is equal to
8
8 minus T
8 minus
T
t
divided by 3
3
plus 2.
plus 2. Here we have a division. Okay, one is numerator, second one is denominator. Whenever the case is in division form, and first of all we simplify the division. After that, multiplication. Here we have denominator. Here we have denominator 2, 4, 3, and its denominator is 1. When we have this sort of question, first of all we take the LCM. First of all we take the LCM. What is the procedure of LCM? Simply, if you are good in mathematics, then you can take higher value of the same table. Then you can multiply with the rest of the value which are not existing in the same table. Okay. After that, if you are not having good enough skills to take the LCM in mathematics, then we can take the LCM by this procedure: 2, 4, 3, 1. We always start from the smallest table. We always start from the smallest table, and smallest table is 2. And here we have to perfect division. 2 divided by 2 answer is 1. 4 divided by 2 answer is 2. Here we can't solve because we are required perfect division, not in decimal. Okay, 3 and 1. Smallest table is 2. At least minimum 2 values must be there, which can fall under a table. Smallest table is 2. 2 is falling, but we are required one more value. 3 is not falling, 1 is not falling. What is next table? That is 3. 3 is there, but at least we are required 2 values in the same table. At least we are required 2 values in the same table. So, do we have 4? Maximum can be 3, and we are having only one value, that is 3. We can't proceed further. We can simply multiply these expressions and we can find the LCM. So 2 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1. 2 multiplied by 1 2 multiplied by 2 4 multiplied by 3 12 multiplied by 1 12 is the LCM. First you have to take the LCM. As is stated, if you are good in mathematics and you have enough practice, you can take the LCM without going for this approach. You can take the larger value in the same table. 2 falls in table 2. 4 also falls here. What is the larger value, bigger value? That is 4. And then you can multiply rest of the elements which are not belonging to that table. 3 is not belonging to table in table 2. So 4 is the larger value. 4 will be multiplied with 3. 4 multiplied with 3 is what is LCM?
12.
Once you take the LCM, after taking the LCM, you can multiply the LCM with all expressions of the equation. It's one expression, it's another expression, it's another expression, it's another expression. So addition or subtraction always separate the expressions. So what I stated, we can multiply the LCM with all expressions of the equation. Clear? So 12 multiplied by t minus 3 by 2. Then 12 multiplied by t plus 3 by 4 is equal to 12 multiplied by 8 minus t by 3 plus 12 multiplied by 2 by 1. It's up to you. You can write up, you can exclude, you can leave that, whatever you want, you can solve. So 2, 6 and 2, t minus 3, 4, 3 and 2, t plus 3 is equal to 4 and 2, 8 minus t, 12 multiplied by 2 answer is 24. So as we stated that first of all we solve the division, then we go for multiplication. So in this case we are having multiplication.
Yes.
So we can simplify as we did in our previous question. 6t minus 18 plus 3t plus 9 is equal to 32 minus 4 t plus 24. First degree equation.
Yes.
How to solve?
Shift variable one side.
Shift variable
One side.
constant,
Other side.
What is variable here?
T.
T is variable. All the expressions having t will be shifted to left side and constant will be shifted to
Right
side. 6t plus 3t. Here is minus 4t. It will be shifted to left side. Then it will be
Positive.
plus 4. T is equal to 32 plus 24. What's left? Minus 18. It will be plus 18 minus 9.
Plus.
So 8, 9. Here will be
Minus.
minus 9. Simplify it. So it will be 13t. We can simplify it. And what's value here?
65.
It's 65.
Yes.
There is 65. So the value of t is 65 divided by 13. So t is equal to 5. What is 5? That is the root of equation. It is only the value which can satisfy the equation. Still we are not sure our calculation is right or wrong. After putting in the equation, in which equation you can put here, you can put here, wherever you want, you can put this value. If both sides get equal to each other, then we can say that is the real root of equation, and equation is satisfied. Satisfied. I think that is about exercise number 1.1, and I will suggest that you have to deal with rest of question by yourself, and that is part of your assignment. I look forward to have your assignment in next class. See you.